roll your your blanket the long way, and then just bring your sacrum right up to the edge and roll open. So we're going to start with some heart openers, and we're going to move into hip openers today, and we'll do some balance. So let your feet be in standing to start off with. And take just a moment and bring those hands straight up in the air and feel those shoulder blades pull apart from one another. You might cross your arms to really get a sense of those shoulder blades opening. And then feel on the exhale your body soften around that blanket. And then open your arms into cactus position. So the difference between T and cactus is just how the front body opens. So we're really rolling around this blanket that we have rolled. Invite the core to come in by just gently softening through that pelvic floor and allow the knees to drop together. So the pelvic floor can be engaged, but the hips can be soft. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Blow it out with a big sigh. Again, nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. And then bring your breath into 3-part breath, Durga breath. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, exhale. And Durga breath is the ocean sounding. So begin to feel the back of the throat tighten. Sometimes in this posture, the sinuses will drain. So you can certainly allow that to happen. If you need a tissue to clear out the sinuses, that's fine. And find your 3-part breath. Find your ocean. And notice what's happening in the mind. Maybe nothing, maybe a lot. Invite that monkey to move to the back of the room. And if he needs a project, let him count your breaths. Inhale, 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 exhale, exhale, exhale. Two more. Really feel yourself dropping into that blanket. And then last one. Excellent. Now release those hands down. Let them just flip over so that the cactus kind of rolls to the bottom. So the hands are down, but the elbows are still bent. Breathing into it. This just changes the direction of the opening of the attachment point of the pectoralis muscles, major and minor. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Notice where your body's softening around the blanket. And now we're going to begin to move the arms with this. We're going to inhale, lifting the left arm up, leaving the right arm down. So it is almost like a Z. And then on the inhale, we're going to switch. And on the exhale, lower them down. So this is a slow movement. It's going to begin to open the shoulders. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And notice if you're shifting on the inhale and the exhale in the hips. If you are, that means the core has taken a little break. Just invite that pelvic floor back in, stabilizing the hips. Only thing that are moving is the arms. You might have a little rocking over the spine and the shoulder blades if you're super tight. That's okay. 2 more each side. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And 1 more. Inhaling, exhaling. Great. Bring those arms, opening them into a T position, opening them wide, and then bring them up together, crossing the right arm underneath the left arm, giving yourself a big hug. Drawing those elbows down towards the belly. Inhaling, opening them wide. Open wide. Nice inhale. Take an exhale. Feel them soften to the floor. Inhaling, bringing them to center. Crossing the left arm underneath the right arm and drawing the shoulders down. Drawing the elbows down. Inhaling, opening them wide. And take a break right here in T. Now that we've got the shoulders kind of open and wrapped around the blanket, let's focus on the lower body. Make sure that core is engaged. Inhale, lengthening through the right leg, lengthening through the left leg. Now, be mindful that if this is not accessible to you two, just stay with feet in standing. Flex the feet, so as if you're going to reach through the heels. And then point the feet, as if you're going to go on point in ballet, lying on your back, which is the way to do it. It's better for your toes. Inhaling, reaching through your heels. Nice deep exhale. Release everything. Soften into it. Find your 3-part breath. Let's have 5 more rounds. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3 more. Excellent. Find your way into rolling onto your side, just for the moment of moving the blanket out of the way. So roll to your side, pull the blanket out of the way, and then come back onto your back. Flatten your back out. Find your feet coming in close to the behind. We're going to just do a couple pelvic rolls here. So hands come down to the floor. Engage that pelvic floor, flatten the back. Inhale, releasing it out. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhaling, releasing it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. Really get a sense of that pelvic floor drawing in, the belly button reaching down. Whenever you're in this posture, it's really important that you always have your face looking towards the ceiling. No looking side to side. Very hard on the neck. So always make sure that you're completely flat on your back if you have to turn and take a look, just to protect the vertebrae and the cervical, which is the neck. So maybe place your hand right between your belly button and your pubic bone, so you can get a sense of that muscle drawing down to the floor as the pelvic floor draws up. So it's such a subtle movement, that pelvic floor, with a very important, strong, stabilizing muscle. We're going to do 3 more of these. This is great if you ever have low back pain. If you ever have low back pain and you go to physical therapy, this is one of the exercises they'll give you to do. So really beautiful exercise to add into your, before you go to bed or before you get up in the morning. I always encourage people to do it while they're still lying in bed. Just bring your feet to standing. Do 10 or 12, 20 pelvic tilts. Just remembering what the pelvic floor feels like. Following your breath. We're going to do 2 more. And last one. On this last one, we're going to hold that muscle in, really drawing down through the pelvic, through the belly button. Feel your hands work into the floor and press through the feet. No engaging of the gluteal muscles, just a working against the earth in the feet. So if you feel your hips begin to engage, encourage them to let go. This isn't going to be a very high lift. It's just going to be a nice, gentle, low bridge. And then lowering down. And then inhaling, pressing into the floor, lifting up. And exhaling, lowering down. So we're just taking this pelvic tilt just into the next level of where we're engaging the pelvic floor in the inhale, pressing through the feet, lifting up. Giving the body a nice little gentle opening. Exhaling, rolling down. Feeling the energy gently beginning to warm and move. We're going to do 2 more of these. And last one. Feel the gentleness as we invite the body to come into the day. And I know some of you have probably been up for half of the day already, and that's okay. We're still inviting it into the day. Releasing those knees to the chest and gently begin to rock side to side. Opening the knees. Giving the body some space, giving those hips some space. Giving that low back a little bit of a massage. It always feels nice to let the body have some circulation by massage. This also stimulates the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system only moves if you're moving or if you're being massaged. So nothing like doing both at the same time. Begin to open the knees. Feel them begin to drop into the armpits and heading into dead bug. If you have the space to take a hold of your feet at the arch, do that. If you don't, take a hold of your shins. Honor where you're at. And be gentle here. Allow the hips opening their own time. First deep hip opener of the day. Make sure that pelvic floor is engaged so that your back is flat. If you're rolling around and there's an arch in your low back, that means the pelvic floor is not engaged. So feel that belly button drop to the floor, the pelvic floor draw up, and it takes the curve out of the spine. Breathe into this. Find your breath. Soften into anything you do not need to hold on to this posture, which is actually almost everything except the pelvic floor. Find your breath. We're going to hang out here for 3 more breaths. And release those feet into the center. And then lower the legs down. Keep that right knee in. Lengthen through the left leg. Let's have about 5 wind relieving poses here. So draw that knee in on the exhale. Inhale it out. Draw it in on the exhale. Inhale it out. Draw it in on the exhale. Inhale it out. Draw it in on the exhale. Inhale it out 1 more time. Draw it in on the exhale. Inhale, release it out, switch legs. Exhale, draw that left knee in. Inhale it out. Exhale, draw that left knee in. Inhale it. 2 more. Last one, draw it in. Excellent. Bring both feet to standing the width of the mat. Open those arms wide to a T position and roll into that pelvic floor. So it's a much more dynamic move with the legs wider apart. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. This time on the exhale, as you draw in, as you inhale, hold the posture, and then exhale the knees to the left, looking to the right. We're going to just do a little twist here. Let the body begin to realize that we can go side to side. Find your breath. We're going to have 3 more breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling. Nice Durga breath. Ocean sounding, tightening the back of your throat. Inhaling, drawing that head back to center, knees back to center. Exhaling the other way. Looking over to that left hand. Find the inhale, exhale. 4 more breaths. Two more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. Inhaling, drawing those knees to center, drawing the nose to center, and let's move with it. Let's exhale. Look the opposite of the knees. Inhale, draw everything in. Core is strong, strengthening the transverse muscles. Exhaling, going the other direction. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, other direction. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhale. We're going to do 3 more each side, so all the way through. And this is the completion of that one, so 3 more starting now. Inhaling to the, I'm going left, doesn't matter whichever way you're going. Exhaling, center. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling, center. Exhaling the other direction. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, opposite nose to the knees. Inhaling, last round all the way through. Exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Bring those knees to the center on the inhale. Exhale, draw them in to your chest. Let's just have a nice long stretch here. Inhaling, exhaling. And then scoop your hands behind your knees and begin rocking. Maybe I'll rock this morning. Back and forth. Be mindful if you're on a hardwood floor. If this hurts your spine, don't do it. Just come up to sitting. 2 more. It's the energy flowing and all the way up to seated. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale to the right. Reaching it over. Inhaling it up. exhaling it to the other direction. Inhaling it up, exhaling. Inhaling up, exhaling. One more time. Inhaling up, exhaling to the right. Inhaling up, exhaling to the left. Lovely. Exhaling your hands all the way down. Take a minute. Let your hands rest on your knees. Find your breath, go up tall through your crown. Really drink in easy pose. Nicely done. We're going to move right into tabletop. We're going to take one breath in tabletop, curl our toes under. So let's build up tabletop first. Hands are spread wide, shoulders are over your hands, knees are under your hips. Curl your toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Inhale up onto your toes, exhale into that right heel. Inhale into your toes, exhale into that left heel. Inhale and exhale, walk it out. Find your dog and walk the dog. Notice what's accessible to you today and honor that. Two more walking the dog. Everything's waking up. Last walking the dog. Inhaling up onto both toes, exhaling all the way back into your heels. Find that full dog. Really feel the heart work towards the knees. Feel those sit bones open and spread as the tailbone reaches to the sky. Let go of your head. Breathe into it. 4 breaths. On the next inhale, lift through that right foot. Just kick it back for an inhale and then exhale it all the way up between your hands. And you have to stand up to get there. That's okay. Coming into high lunge. So make it a nice, big, dynamic high lunge. If you have blocks and you want to use them, this is a nice place to invite them in. And then sink down through the hips. Bring that right hip back and the left hip forward and sink straight down. We're going to just work in high lunge for a minute. Working through those hips. The lower you sink, the deeper the stretch is in the left leg for that psoas. So the psoas is the muscle right through here that runs deep into the belly. It's the only bidirectional muscle in the body. So it has a really big, giant, important job. It bends us over, which is what I've been doing a lot in the yard. And it also brings our knee up if you're climbing the stairs. So little tiny micro movements, bringing those hips square, feeling into it. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Go long in your crown. And then draw back and press into that back heel as you straighten the front leg. Really allow your body to fold over that leg, lengthen through your neck, letting the spine grow long. Now, I have a tendency to lose the squareness in my hips as I do this because I'm tight in my hamstrings on my right leg. So I have to really think about pulling my right hip back, left hip forward, Working through that heel of the left leg, squaring it off, bending over, invite the pelvic floor in, grow long in the crown. Nice deep breathing. Hold this posture. Find your breath. Feel the opening begin to happen. If the monkey has jumped in and wants to talk to you, thank the monkey and invite the monkey to really manage your inhale and manage your exhale. On the next inhale, full expression is squaring those hips. Exhale, sinking back into high lunge. So there we're coming back into it. You might begin to feel this in your calf muscle. Placing the left hand next to the right foot, spinning open into twist. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Lengthen through your crown. Let those shoulders come away from your neck, from your ears. Inhale through your fingertips, exhaling, coming down. Stepping that back foot in a half a step and dropping it down. And spinning up into warrior two. Here we are. Right into warrior two. Now, I'm having a tendency to live for your warrior in the future. Come right here, sink straight down. Honor where your body is. If you need a break and you need to go to child's pose and hang out there, do. It's okay. Finding warrior to be strong and powerful. Sinking back into dancing warrior. You okay?
My wrist is just, I can't do dog and I can't.
Okay, that's fine. Inhaling, coming back into warrior. Slide across the body and tip down into it. Bringing your hand first up, just straight up. And then flipping the palm behind you and twisting back behind you. Opening that shoulder, opening the rib cage. And if you have the space in your body to reach all the way behind you until you can grab onto the onto your arm of the other side, then do that. Breathing into it. Notice what your crown is doing. Is your chin tipped up? I have a tendency to carry my chin up because of an old neck injury. So lengthen through the back of the neck and go long in the crown. Breathing into it. Excellent. Inhaling that left hand back up, reaching it all the way over your ear. All the way, reach it long, 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 long. So we've got a long line of energy all the way from the tips of our fingers to the outside edge of that foot. Breathing into it. Inhaling through those fingertips, exhaling, cartwheeling down, completing this warrior two back down into high lunge, and then step that right foot back into downward facing dog. So as my core builds, I notice that I'm getting stronger. Notice that you're getting stronger. Sometimes you have to take 4 or 5 steps in order to get to downward facing dog. That's okay. 2 more breaths. Draw those heels together, open the knees, and sit back into child's pose. Breathing into it. This one. There you go. On the next inhale, We're gonna rise all the way back up into downward facing dog. So that's a nice long dynamic movement. From child's pose, curling the toes under, sinking back into downward facing dog. Find your breath. Find your dog. Really let the work be working the heels to the floor, the tail to the sky, breathing into. Inhale, lifting through that left foot, exhaling it all the way up in between your hands. You might have to help it. That's allowed. We're still getting strong. And then here we go. Sinking down into lunge. Work at squaring off the body. Low lunge is a great option. If high lunge is not with you, use low lunge. You can also build the floor up. And in super great, strong lunges, you can let go of your hands. Now that's a true balance pose. Not happening in this body today. The work is really for me in the psoas, opening up the center of the body. If you've done any yard work this spring, let that be your work. Breathing into it. Sinking down. And then on the next exhale, draw back, straighten that front leg. Feel that back heel. Work to the floor. Still squaring off in the hips, so if you kind of lost it as we straighten the leg, see if you can square off those hips again. Notice where your knee is rolling. Is your knee rolling into the big toe or out to the little toe? It's an energetic movement of spinning that knee open. It opens through the hamstrings and the groin. Let that knee work towards your shin, breathing into it. Find your breath. Nice deep inhale, square off those hips. Exhale, sink back into high lunge. Right hand next to the left foot, spinning open. Right into a twist. Breathe into it. Inhaling through those fingertips, exhaling down. Bring that back foot in a half a step and spin right up into warrior. I'm just going to turn around so that I can still look at you guys, but our left foot is still forward. Sinking down into that knee. Sinking back into dancing warrior right here. Breathing into it, inhaling, coming forward, sliding across the body, sinking down, elbow onto the quad of the left leg, right arm's reaching up. So pick one direction and look at it, and then let your crown grow long from there. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at the ceiling, if you're looking at the floor. It matters that you just choose one place and hang out there. Lengthen through the crown, drop open in the back of the neck, and then spin that hand behind you, bringing that arm behind you and dropping into a twist. See if you can feel that right shoulder open as it draws your heart open to the sun. Breathing into it. And if at any time you need a break, child's pose or shavasana is a nice place to go. Nothing is required except to honor what's happening in your body. Great. Inhaling, bringing that arm right back up, reaching toward the ceiling, and then up overhead all the way. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel that long line of energy. Breathing into it. On the next inhale, inhale through your fingertips, exhale, spin out of this, but instead of stepping back into downward facing dog, we're going to step forward into forward fold. Find your forward fold. Feet are directly underneath your hips, so you might have to wiggle them open or a little closer together. Spin those knees open to the little toe. Drop out of your head. Inhaling, exhaling. Full forward fold. On the next inhale, we're going to sink down, coming into Uttanasana. So, chair pose, sinking all the way back. Feel the power in your legs. They might be a little jiggly after doing those lunges, but the strength is there. Engage that pelvic floor, sit back like you're going to sit back in a chair. Breathing into it. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling your hands down to your side, coming into full mountain. So really drink in mountain. Close your eyes. Feel your body. Connect into the earth. Bring that chin down just a little or tip it up a little. Where do you feel the back of your neck open? Dropping out of your shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. Where are you hanging on that you don't need to be hanging on? Are your glutes clenching? What would happen if you released the glutes and invited the pelvic floor in to stabilize the hips instead? Bringing that belly back to the spine, lifting it up through your heart. Rolling your shoulders back and down, going long on the ground. Nice. Right here, inhaling those hands up to the sides, nice and wide. Crossing the right arm underneath the left arm. Give yourself a big hug. Now, draw long in the crown. Drop down through the shoulder blades, but lift up through the elbows. This time we're going to lift up instead of down. This invites the rib cage to move a different direction. And exhaling, lowering it down. Inhaling, opening those arms, putting the right arm on top, the left arm on the bottom. Another big hug. We're still sinking into our feet, squaring them off, lifting up through the elbows, catching the right and left side a little differently. Breathing into it. Inhaling, opening the arms. Exhaling, dropping them down. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale and we're going to open the arms up. This time as we cross the bottom arm underneath, we're going to spin them around and come into hooking the hands. Now, you see that? If you can't hook the hands, you can go the back of the palms together. So if you can hook the palms of the hands or the fingertips to the palms, that's fine. On the next inhale, we're going to pour into, I gotta think about this for a second. We're going to pour into the left foot and cross the right leg over the knee. So find a point to look at. And you can sit down in chair and hook the left foot behind your leg if you're stretching up to do that. I am not. So I'm just going to cross my leg and stop talking. So find a point to look at, find your balance, and find your breath. Engage your core. Inhale, come out of that. Exhale, release the arms. Shake everything out. Shake it out. When we hold things like that, it's good to give it movement. Let the hips come a little wider than hip distance. Give it some space. So that's a nice big tangly balance posture for today. So we're going to do it again. This time, we're going to come back into mountain. Find your full mountain. Hands come down to your side. Open them wide. Bring your left arm to the bottom and spin it around. Now notice how this side is different. I have a little less space in this side, so it's a constant work for me. Lift up through the elbows, sink down into the knees, pour yourself into the right foot. When you're ready, cross your knee, find your drisi, find your breath, find your balance. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, releasing the arms. Shake it out. Shake it out. Give yourself some space. Open it up. Notice where your body is resisting the movement. Just notice. Very good. Breathing into it, coming back into your mountain one more time, finding your full mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart, growing long in your crown. So pick those toes up and feel those feet drop into the earth. Let go of your hips, engage your pelvic floor, bring that belly button back, lift your heart, drop out of the shoulders, go long in the crown. Fingers are reaching to the earth, almost as if there's lightning bolts coming out of your fingertips to connect you to the earth. Allow that little toe to go to the earth. So little toe foot is on the earth, everything else is up, theoretically. If it's not, it's okay. And then the fourth toe, third, second, and first. Now soften into those toes. Feel how your balance changes, having the support of your toes come into your feet. Check in. Where are you holding? Where can you let go? Inhaling those hands up overhead. Exhaling, swan dive, swooping all the way back down to the earth. Coming all the way down onto the earth. So however that looks for you, if you want another downward facing dog, you can do it. This might be graceful, it might not be. Might be all over the place. We're going clear down to lying on our back. So let it be a journey. Let it be a journey back to the floor. Sometimes it's a long journey to the floor. Lengthen through the left leg, lengthen through the right leg. Bring your arms up overhead. Point the toes, point the fingers. Take a nice deep breath in. Inhale. Inhale, inhale, reach it. And let it go with a big sigh. Drawing that left or the right knee in. I want the right knee in, left toe is pointed, right toe is pointed. Draw that knee in as far as it will go. And then let it open as if it's going to go into the armpit, but we're not going to dead bug. With your left hand, just put it over the hip point of your left hip to encourage it to stay down. Because it's common that we like to roll out of this. And feel that groin muscle open and the hip joint. Work at your own level, being mindful of any injuries or changes in your body that you have to be mindful of. Then draw that knee back to the center, heading towards midline. So you're heading across the body. And we're going to pause at midline and draw that knee in. Really draw it in. Feeling this in the hip. And you can deepen this by taking a hold of the outside of your ankle and spinning that knee almost as if you're going to bring it to a figure 4. And you'll really feel that deep in the hip rotators. Still pointing through the left toes, still breathing, still lengthening long through the neck. Nice long inhale, exhale. And then release that ankle down, coming back to the left hand on the outside of the right knee, opening that right hand to a T position, continuing the journey across the body into a nice deep twist. Twisting into it. Move anything out of the way that you need to give yourself space. Give your body space to be able to open in its own time. Now, just a few minor things here. Lengthen through that crown. If you need to pick the shoulders up and lie them flat on the ground, you can do that. Really reach through those right fingertips. Turn your head and look to the right fingertips. Point your toes and really breathe into this entire dynamic, bringing out of the spine. You've got your hips going one direction, your neck going the other direction. It's like wringing out a wet washcloth. Just wring it out. Now, slowly inhale, draw your nose back so that it's facing the ceiling. Then begin the slow journey back of that knee back to center line. So you're going to roll out of your hips, keeping your knee at center line. You can bring your right hand back into this deep hip stretch. And then continue opening the knee. Opening the knee back. Left hand comes down on that hip point. Opening it back wide. And then begin to lower it down. All the way down to pointing with the left foot. So wiggle around. Let yourself be flat. Bring that left knee in. Right toes are pointed. Draw that in. Draw that left knee into the armpit. Feel your right hand go over the right hip point. Open that left knee wide. Hold that. Encourage that right hip to stay down. Point your toes, creating long muscles here. Long muscles in the front of the leg as we work through that groin muscle. Breathing into it. Begin the slow journey back into the center of the body. Allow that knee to come to the center point, and then feel your right and your left hand work to draw that knee in, sliding the right hand down just to the outside of the ankle and open that foot to a figure 4. Notice how this left side is different than the right side. Do you have more space? Is there maybe a little bit more restriction? The balance of our body really shows us how we carry ourselves. Release that foot back down, hooking the right hand on the outside of the left knee, opening that left hand and letting the left knee cross the body into a deep twist. Now, again, remembering to engage that pelvic floor. If you need to adjust your shoulders to deepen the twist through the mid-body, you can do that. Grow long in the crown, and then look to the other hand. Look to the left hand, twist to the right knee. Breathe into it. This is a deep twist. Do every movement slowly. If your body's talking to you, honor what it's telling you. Inhaling, bringing the nose back to center. Exhaling, begin that journey back to the center. Rolling onto your back, right hand on your hip. Again, counterposing, opening through that groin. Opening all those deep hip muscles. And then releasing that leg down, coming all the way down, pointing both toes. Inhaling the hands up overhead. Inhale, stretch it out. Feel a long stretch. Keep that core engaged. And exhale, let it out. And bring those feet to standing. We're going to do one solid bridge. You're invited to do meditation in motion if your body feels the need to do that. So remember, as if you have a block between your knees and you're hanging onto it. That engages the groin muscles, which then supports the entire pelvis. Hands come down to the floor, engaging through that pelvic floor, pressing through the feet, lifting up into bridge, finding your bridge. Going a little higher, you can engage the glute muscles to lift that pelvic floor up, lift the pelvis up rather, and find your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. On the next inhale, inhale deep, exhale, lifting a little bit higher. Finding your breath, staying with it. What can you let go of and still support this posture? Inhaling, exhaling. Give it your full expression here for 3 breaths. Really work into it. Find your breath. And exhaling, lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time. Slower, 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 slowly. Releasing those knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug and ask yourself if there's anything else you need to do. And as you honor that request of what the body needs, find your breath, close your eyes, drop into that space of following the body. And as you move through that time, find yourself coming into meditation in motion. Shavasana, finishing meditation in motion. Lengthening through the right foot, lengthening through the left foot. And if lengthening through your feet are not with you today, then drop your knees together. Let your feet be the width of the mat. Letting go of that pelvic floor. Letting go of your breath. Softening through the neck. Tipping through the chin, lengthening the back of the neck. Letting those eyes grow heavy. And coming into Shavasana. What will I know if I go below the choppy surface of the mind? Focus flows, and there are no fixed points. Slow currents swirl and slip still deeper. I grow very quiet. The mind attends the subtlest sensations. It is a different world, and I am an explorer of these inner realms, where nothing stays the same for very long. Energy shifts and changes. I find peace beneath the surface. Bring it back with me. Hold it in my hands like a small white bird, and then release it. That peace might fly where it's most needed. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. And as you're ready, roll to your side. Coming back to seated. Hands to your heart. Namaste.